It is the beginning of a new Festa season. And I know that we are missing our OT7. And oh, I know I am. I'm remembering a story. So I just realized it's been 3 years since Butter was released. And that was... So me and Butter have a really interesting connection. So, when I so when I first found out that Butter was being released, and let's just say that I had spent already for maybe like a year and a half, roughly, maybe a little bit more, have been listening to BTS like every single day for many hours a day. And I had not watched a single music video. Not even one. Like, well, part of it in the very beginning was because I had gotten into a car crash, and I'm thinking I probably had a concussion. I'm not 100% sure because, the doctor said one thing and I felt another. So, and so I couldn't spend a lot of time, watching anything on internet in terms of like my phone or whatever. I can listen to music. And that's when I randomly asked my Amazon Echo to play BTS because I remembered a friend that I had that said that BTS helped her through her father passing away. And so, for some reason, that came through my mind, and then, as I was recovering, I randomly asked my Echo to play BTS. And that's when I realized that a song of theirs that I heard even a few years prior to that, which was Butterfly, was actually sung by them. And which Butterfly had saved me during a time period of my life where it was very, very much darkness. And I remembered the song, but I had no idea how to find who it was from. And then, I still remembered the song. I didn't know any keywords to find. Ironically, the parts of the song that I remember wasn't the chorus, so that was what made it hard. I remembered the beat. I believe, it was a crossover between Suge and RM's verses. Like, I don't know how it fused together during different parts of the song, but my brain remembers what it remembers. And then, so fast forward to, that's when I realized, oh my gosh, it's them. And then, when, uh, and so I can, okay, so here's the thing about me. I can listen to music and not know A, what they look like, B, any of the music videos. I just go with the flow and I just zone in, and it just gets deep really quickly. Sometimes if the music is right, then that's just the way. And I know that someone would ask me, it's like, well, do you speak Korean? Do you know? And I'm like, guys, this isn't my first rodeo, okay? Like, I've listened to Japanese metal for a good, I mean, I still listen to Japanese metal, but, like, when it hits your soul a certain way, it hits your soul. And, if you really, really want to know why it's making you feel a certain way, then you will go the extra mile. But, sometimes if music just hits you, it hits you, man. Like, kind of like similar to, some parts of, RM's latest album, Wrong Place, Right Place, Wrong Person, like, certain verses just hit me. And when I eventually looked at the lyrics, I was like, that's why. I mean, like, it just hit. And I'm just like, bro. Parts of my soul were just confirmed. Because it was just like, I felt, and I think part of it is because I am learning Korean. So I understand certain things now more so because of my journey of learning Korean. But I'm just like, it's also Namjoon. Just like, I knew. So, because like Namjoon, I mean, you're Army. You're watching this, you're like most likely Army. Gonna understand what I mean, right? Yeah. Anyhow, so I'm getting ahead of myself. So, as I was thinking about Festa, and I realized that about a little bit over 3 years now, I believe it was May 21st, 2021. I looked it up literally earlier because I was just like, I was thinking about my journey, and I was thinking about the guys, and I was thinking about the fact that, ironically, it was Butter Comeback was around the time that I was at the edge when I had my psychiatric break. And when I was losing all of my emotions, feelings, my ability to talk, everything was on the edge, and I was on the verge of just, let me put it this way. The best case scenario that I had in my mind was committing myself to a hospital. That was my best case scenario that I had in my head. And literally, and I'm not even exaggerating this, like literally, um, that night, when I came up with that, because I was getting to a point where I was afraid of myself. And it's because it was kind of like the last glimmer of feeling for an extended period of time I had, was that I knew that I was uh, that I did not trust myself. And like I said multiple times, the only time I really actually felt anything was when I was listening to BTS. And, um, and this is before I even knew anything about them. Like, I had been listening to their music nonstop every single day, but I did not know anything about them. I didn't know any of their stories. I didn't know nothing. Okay? So, and then I remembered right when I was like, thinking the darkest of thoughts out of all my brain fog that I had at that time period, and I saw an announcement that BTS were having a comeback, and it was Butter. And fast forward to now. Hi, annyeong. And yeah, so when I was thinking about, and so when I was looking at my with Butter, and I was like, it's ironic that it was Butter, because like when they released Butter, it was just just a summer jam that you don't really have to think about anything, just something to chill out and party on with, and then just have fun, and then and then that was the song that woke me up, because that was when I was just like, I remembered that part of me thought it was a sign that I can give myself one more chance to recover on my own. One more chance. And I was like, okay, take this as a sign. And then I was thinking to myself, I want to know, what is it about these guys that, like, what is it about these guys that really brought me into, back to life, essentially? And I just went full force into all their content. And slowly but surely I still remember my first ever NV that I ever watched was a comeback trailer, and it was Boy Meets Evil, and dear mother of everything. Hobie went whoosh. Hi. And I went, oh, these NVs are something else, huh? I still remember that was my first ever NV that I watched. And then I slowly started watching other content and learning about their personalities and learning about. So I just kept thinking to myself, like, It was something, you know, and then with butter, and I found out about Festa, and then I really went into, the rabbit hole with all the BTS content because I was like, oh, Festa, and then um and then um, uh, got really into everything. I just remembered when my brain started waking up slowly, and then when I started really getting into things, and so ironically, because of the announcement of the butter comeback when it did happen, I'm alive. I think that's crazy. And because I know with songs like, I'm not songs, with certain things and the grand scheme of things in terms of like their timeline and everything, and my association with them is so not super tuna, though I'm thinking of gin, so inadvertently super tuna, but now I'm just thinking about, honestly, all the things, certain things about them that make me feel alive. So I can work on myself so when our OT7 are whole again in 2025, that I can be like, hey, um, I worked hard too, you want to see? And even if personally it's a 1 in a million, maybe even more so, chance that they will ever notice me. But it's okay because, part of me is like existing at the same time as the ones that have helped me. And, I can spread their energy to other people. And I've actually had a few of my friends say this to me, who they like so many different types of music, and you know, um, I know the saying. I know in the community we say things like, you can find something, um, regardless of what you like to listen to. But some of my I have a few of my friends that, even if it's not their usual cup of tea, they had said this to me more than one time. Um, that they are grateful to BTS for giving me back to them. And that, because here's the thing. So when I like a group, or when I like a musician or something, I just talk. I just feel like all this information just keeps pouring out, and then, but they told me, they said that, look, you are able to talk because, I went through a period of time where, when I had my psychiatric break and I started just shutting down, even the thoughts in my head were giving me panic attacks because that was like talking still, even if I wasn't physically talking. And then I didn't talk to people, and I barely even talked to my family. I just forced myself to say maybe like okay or yes, and that was even painful. But like I think I said this more than one time, especially during the BTS Army documentary, I said on the lines of, if someone were to come talk to me while I was listening to BTS, I can maybe form a few words or a sentence. I mean, it normally wasn't more than that until after Butter. After Better, I started being able to say like two sentences and start working on things a little bit more. I started making playlists for each motion that I wanted to inject back into my body. If I felt like crying, and there were moments where, crying was a release. It was relief, and release. And then, so I had my playlist for each emotion, and so I can work on therapy-wise. And all that started off to Butter. So me and the song Butter have an interesting relationship. And I was thinking that because, Festa's around this corner, and by the time this gets posted, it is the start of Festa season. And honestly, I know we missed our 027. I mean, I missed them a lot. And honestly, I with my mind's being all jumbled, so honestly though, it might feel weird. It might feel weird preparing for this year's Festa because until Jin comes home, our 027 is unavailable, and that sucks and it hurts. But what I think about is for what I think about is this. So spending time to just, I guess, do a project, or alright, just even if it's, you can write something that reminds you of the guys, like one, like pick a member, or pick, a member every day, or even if it's just, like small things, like if it's not too crazy outside, go on for like, a small little journey. If you drive, you can go on a random, if you drive, you can just go on a random like mini car ride and being like, it's like Taeyong time, because he loves to go on random drives to wherever, wherever he feels like it. Or I actually bought a, how Jimin likes to make little crafts sometimes when he's on live with us, and especially when he did the flowers. I actually went to the store, and I actually found some like the building blocks and to make it into a flower. And then so I was like, And then I actually, but the flower one that I got was a rose, which reminded me of gin. So Jimin? Gin. Because I was thinking of what to make in terms of for gin. Because I was just like, coming home celebration. Even if it might be a little rough for me, since I would either be, I'll be flying in to coming in back from back home, from helping my sister, or because um but I want to get things together so I can be like, Jin, Jin, Jin. And my brain's like, should you sketch out a tattoo for BTS? Because it's coming, guys. It's coming. And, or it's like random things, or, I mean, I don't do karaoke, but if I do like a random sing-along stuff and just full on, like have some whiskey, or make a highball, because that would be JK's favorite. Watch. There's just so many things for each of the guys, and that could honestly, that's the first thoughts that came to my mind in terms of celebrating Festa, especially this year, because it's like they live in here. They live in my magic shop. I've been visiting there a lot recently. So, they might not be physically able to be like, hey, come online and talk to us, in terms of a Weverse Live or whatever. But they're right here, And when Jin comes home, I love him. I love R027 so much. And I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna make for their, or at least I don't know, but honestly, I'm a mess, but in a good way. And I was just thinking, because I was just looking at that's how you okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit of some creations and things like that. I was thinking, I was looking over here and Jimin. Cause I was like, I can get that, and then it's like, will it come in time? So when but oh. Anyhow, so I'm gonna go. I'm rambling, and which is fine, but I'm starting to ramble more in my head than out loud, so awkward. So for now, annyeong.